Hey everyone, welcome back to the range. Part 3 of our Can Subsonic Ammunition Penetrate armor testing today. In part 2 we used our Shot Stop level 3 backpack insert. We're going to continue to use this because this is a fairly thick level 3 plate and we've got lots of space on the plate to go. We have some interesting threats today based on some of the comments from the last test. We have some 55 grain full metal jacket, Tula or Hot Shots, bimetal jacket. We have some M80A1 308 Subsonic, as well as some MK262 Mod 1 77 grain OTM that we're going to throw at this plate. We'll be at approximately 45 feet as always. We have our giant, very heavy clay briefcase that we use as a backer for good compressible media. Let's get set up for this test. We'll grab the 5.56 for testing up first. We'll use the Tula or Hot Shots bimetal. It's got a zinc coating on it. 55 grain full metal jacket first. And then we have some of the IMI Razor Core 77 grain OTM. We checked these in a separate video to make sure that they were subsonic. These ones are a little close to supersonic, the MK262, but they'll work for our testing. We'll use the Palmetto State Armory 1-in-7 twist upper. We've got good stabilization, so if you did want to shoot these with a can on them, at least in my gun, they are stable. It's approximately 75 degrees outside today. A little bit of sunny, not too bad. It's actually cooled off. We'll take these 4 shots on the plate, and then we'll go check out what we did. So again, the bimetal first. Velocity 1035. I also got a nice large screen that even with the sun you should still be able to see the velocity. I thought about getting a TV mount and with an articulating mount and putting it down here so it's a little off out of the way. Our bimetal again. Velocity 1002. Now our Mod 1. 998. $970. Let's go see what we did. I think for our armor results, I'm going to switch back to doing a handheld. I'm going to probably save up and get a nicer like handy cam or something that does 4K. This seems to be a little better than me trying to reposition the cameras and get the right balance of zoom. So this seems to be pretty good, but here was our Tula, our first shot right here. Here was the second. And here were our MK262 Mod 1, both shots right there. That one was a little close, but still pretty good for a fair hit. And as you can see, there's our jacket for the Tula. What do you guys think? Absolutely no pass-throughs. There's a little bit of a dimple going on the back of this plate, but nothing to write home about. So far the M80A1 has been the only one able to penetrate this level 3 plate at subsonic speeds. Let's set up for the 308 testing. Time to step up to the big guy. We've got our PA-10 Gen 2 with a 12.5-inch 1-in-10 twist barrel on here. We have the JMac Customs LAF30 on here. We'll have to definitely get that tested in another video. Not going to be really effective with subsonic ammunition. Our M80A1 that we have loaded will be close to subsonic / supersonic. I should have dialed it down a couple more tenths of a grain, but it should do for what we're going to test. We'll take 2 shots here and then go and check the plate. Velocity 1128. That's right on the cusp of what supersonic is, like 1134. And again, that depends on your elevation and atmospheric pressures and whatnot for the day. So we'll call that subsonic, but just barely. And then this one will be probably supersonic. This one's a little higher. 1194. Let's go check out what we did. Alright, here was shot number 1, and here was shot number 2 of our M80A1. Does anyone want to place any bets on whether this penetrated or not? Ruh-roh. We have some pass-throughs. That one had enough energy to go all the way through. That one's probably back in the woods somewhere. Interesting. Here's the back of our plate right there. Here's one hole, and here's another. I highly doubt slowing those down anymore, you know, in the 990s range would have any effect on it. I mean, that would be another test. How slow could you go on M80A1 and still penetrate polyethylene body armor? That one would be a little tricky because you get into the realm of getting a squib load, and that's something I don't want to play too much around with. But interesting. Those are definitely some interesting results. I would have figured the bimetal jacket from the Tula would have helped us there, but it didn't. The MK262, the 77 grain round, didn't stand a chance, but somebody mentioned it in one of the other videos, so we had the opportunity to make a load for it, and those were our results. Now the M80A1, definitely interesting. Our M2AP from the part 2 didn't even make it through, but this guy essentially would be the equivalent to you being shot with this plate at over 1,000 yards, give or take. I think I'll have to try to find a ballistic chart for M80A1 or the, is it MK319? I'll have to see if I can find it. I'll annotate if I do. But essentially a 1,000-yard shot if you were wearing a level 3 all polyethylene plate, M80A1 would be able to penetrate at that far away. If you all have any other suggestions for different bullet types that we can test this against within reason that I can get my hands on, let me know in the comments below, and we'll definitely have to try them. I'd like to thank ShotStop for providing us with this panel to test. We do have plenty of space on here for testing, my Patreon supporters, and you all for watching. Until next time, catch you at the range. So far that M855, so far the